What if I told you that while 1 in 5 black men in London feel they strongly belong to their neighbourhood, for black queer men, that's men of African descent who identify as bisexual, gay, or trans, that number falls to only 1 in 20? Or that 9 out of 10 black men in London always have someone to socialise with, according to surveys, but for black queer men, it's only 2 out of 10. These aren't just interesting numbers, diverting stats. Loneliness is known to increase the risk of poor physical and mental health. It's our problem. Absolutely, we own that fact. At Blackout, we are organising so that we can also own the solutions. For years, we've been told that visibility is the answer. More black queer faces in the media means more inclusion. Come out wherever you are. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Visibility without power is surveillance. Representation as performance just generates performative representation. As Audre Lorde wrote, there's a timbre of voice that comes from not being heard and knowing you are not being heard, noticed only by others, not heard for the same reason. We are everywhere in the media, yet nowhere at all. Our bodies sell products, our tragedies make headlines, our culture creates trends. But our actual voices, our complex realities, our political visions, these remain largely absent. The paradox is maddening. Black queer men are simultaneously hyper-visible and invisible. We're seen through others' eyes, but rarely through our own. We're spoken about, but very rarely spoken with. It's time for a shift in ambition. It's not enough to be seen, to be on view. We want to be in dialogue. So why does it matter that this is specifically a movement by and for black queer men? Because our experience at the intersection of racism and homophobia creates unique challenges and unique wisdom. Blackout Next marks a critical shift from being on broadcast, on display, like objects in a shop window for all who pass, to one where we're creating dialogue, where we curate our audiences, listen to each other rather than solely focusing on others, and make meaning together. This shift isn't just aesthetic, it's about creating spaces where our fragmented experiences can form a collective wisdom that serves not just us, but broader movements for justice. This is where mutualization becomes transformative. What if, instead of fighting for a seat at someone else's table, we built our own? By becoming a community benefit society, Blackout UK won't just be an organisation that serves black queer men, it will be built, owned and controlled by us. Our stories, our platform, our decisions, our resources. We want to fundamentally transform who holds power, who controls resources, and who shapes narratives. This is about collective liberation through collective ownership. And this is about more than governance structures. It's about good governance, creating spaces of collective joy and celebration. When we own our platforms, we can gather in ways that honour our full humanity, where our laughter, creativity, and connections aren't commodified, but cherished. In the same way we want to go beyond mere visibility, we want to support ecosystems, where our relationships with each other become the true foundation of our power. So, how does this actually work? A community benefit society is a legal form that puts ownership directly in the hands of members while locking assets for community benefit. This means that we're democratically controlled, one member, one vote, regardless of financial contribution. Power isn't concentrated with the loudest voices or the deepest pockets. Community shares. Members invest in the society through affordable shares, creating sustainable funding while maintaining equal voting rights. Asset lock. Resources can't be privatised or extracted. They remain for community benefit forever. Legal recognition. The structure provides legal standing so that we can access funding, enter partnerships, and advocate effectively. But beyond the technical details, mutualization creates something more powerful, a structure that matches our values of collective care, shared power, and community wealth. Take a moment to imagine yourself not just consuming media about Black queer experiences, but actively shaping it. What stories would you prioritise? Whose voices would you amplify? What conversations would you nurture? In a cooperative structure, these aren't hypothetical questions. They are decisions that you make alongside others who share your lived experience. This is the difference between being spoken about and speaking together. When we control our organisation, new possibilities emerge. Our virtual newsroom becomes a truly independent platform for Black queer stories, free from outside influence or censorship. Our UK Black queer content aggregator preserves our cultural production on our terms, not subject to algorithmic erasure. Our shared knowledge hub builds community resilience through resources we collectively own and govern. And our financial transparency isn't just a promise, it's built into our legal structure, with members having real oversight. Beyond the abstract, it's about tangible power to shape our lives and communities. Imagine what becomes possible when we're not just invited to somebody else's conversation, but when we own the platform where the conversation happens. There's definitely theory behind this kind of organising, but there are also real-world examples. Similar models are already transforming communities. There are billions of people across the planet who are already engaged in cooperatives. But closer to home, the Bristol Cable, a media cooperative, has over 2,500 members and has created journalism that directly responds to community needs rather than the demands of advertisers. Multitudes, a workers' cooperative, is bringing Black feminist principles into the digital technology space, inspiring and enabling values-led change in the charity and design sectors. These organisations show us what's possible when communities choose collective ownership over traditional models. Our journey to becoming a community benefit society has already begun. Register and join us. We'd be really interested in what you think about the future shape of our organisation. So where do you fit into this transformation? If you are a Black queer man in the UK, this is your invitation to shape an organisation that truly belongs to you. Join our online meetings on May the 12th or in person on May the 17th. If you're an ally, there are ways to support while also supporting Black queer men's agency. By sharing this message, for example, or encouraging the Black queer men you know and care about to participate, or by helping us to access resources and investment. The question isn't whether we can do this, it's whether you're ready to be part of building something together that will in turn build us. Visit BLKOUTNXT now to register for our newsletter and join our movement beyond visibility. The solutions we all need require dialogue. There can be nothing about us without us. Isn't it time you join the conversation?